You ever get that feeling when the night is just too quiet, like the dark's holding its breath, waiting for something to move? That was me last winter, driving north through Minnesota, heading up US 53. January, cold enough to kill your battery if you so much as blink. I'd pulled over just past mile marker 237. Snow had come down fast, like a curtain. Couldn't see more than 5 feet ahead. Figured I'd wait it out on a roadside pull-off. No signal, no lights, just the hum of the engine and that soft falling silence. Around 2 a.m., I killed the headlights, leaned back in the seat, cracked the window just a little, and lit a cigarette. Snowflakes hit the glass sideways. That's when I heard it. Step, pause, step, again. Crisp, slow crunches in the snow, circling my cab. Not close, but not far either. I leaned forward, squinted into the side mirror. Nothing. Just a pale wash of snow and black trees beyond. At first I thought maybe it was another trucker, but the lot was empty. I knew that. I felt that. Then my radio crackled. A voice, real low, came through the static like a whisper wrapped in gravel. If you're near 237, don't get out. Not tonight. Dead air. I froze because I just unbuckled. Hand was already on the door. I stayed inside, didn't even move. Just shut the window, locked the doors, and sat there breathing shallow. At first, I told myself it was just another guy messing around, someone trying to spook me on the CB. But then I heard it, not footsteps this time, scratching, light, deliberate, like nails testing the metal just behind my cab. 3 short strokes, then a pause. Then again, longer this time, like it was feeling for something. I shut off the engine. Instant silence. My ears rang. The scratching didn't stop. Now it moved from the back of the trailer to the side, right outside my door. I held my breath. Couldn't even bring myself to check the mirror. I just whispered, "Who's out there?" And the radio answered again. Same voice, only quieter. "Don't shine the light on it. It notices." Around 3 a.m., the sounds changed. It wasn't scratching anymore. It was knocking. Not on the door, not on the trailer. Underneath, like someone, or something, was clutching the frame, dragging fingers along the undercarriage. Slow, slow, slow. I shut my eyes, told myself it was the wind, or maybe ice falling off the truck bed. But deep down, I knew that wasn't true. I wrapped myself in a blanket, pulled my knees up, tried not to shake, even covered the little red lights on the dash, just to make it darker. I sat there until morning, didn't sleep, didn't move, didn't touch the radio again, just listened to the wind, to my own heartbeat, to the thing outside. Sun came up soft and pale, like it was scared to shine too bright. Snow still fell, but slow now, lazy. I waited a full hour past sunrise before I finally cracked open the door. The cold hit hard, bit right through the jacket. I stepped out, boots crunching, took a look around. Nothing. No prints, no animals, no vehicles, not a single mark in the snow, like the night had erased itself. Until I walked to the front of the cab and saw it. 4 long, jagged gouges across the hood, like claws had raked through the frost and into the paint. And just below that, near the grill, were prints, not boots, not paws, bare feet, but wrong somehow. Too long, too thin, with the toes stretched out like they were reaching for something. I never told dispatch what happened. Didn't see the point. The shop repainted the hood and I went back on the road. But I don't take 53 at night anymore. Not north of Duluth. Not since that night. Not past 237. Some folks say it's just folklore, Wendigo country and all that. Cold drives a man mad, sure. I get it. But cold can't scratch steel, and snow don't leave bare footprints. So if you're ever hauling up through northern Minnesota and you feel like stopping to rest, just keep driving, because if you hear scratching at mile marker 237, it's already too late. They told me, don't open it. Just haul the damn trailer. Straight shot through the mountains. No questions, no stops. Full payment wired at delivery. At the time, I didn't care. Didn't ask what was inside. I needed the cash. Bad. My brother was back in the hospital again, and I was already behind on 2 bills and a favor I owed the kind of guy you don't want calling twice. So when the job came in, midnight pickup, unmarked reefer trailer, some backwoods depot off Route 52, I just said yes. I remember the guy who handed it off, old, pale, didn't look me in the eyes. He slid the clipboard across the counter and muttered, "You take it. You take all of it." Then he was gone. Trailer was locked tight, the kind of lock that's not meant to be broken. Cold steam hissed from the back vents like it was breathing. I felt it before I even climbed in the cab. A chill, not outside, inside. Like something cold brushing past my ribs. Didn't think too much of it. Just fired up the engine, threw on a podcast, and hit the road. The first hour was quiet. Long empty roads. Trees hanging low over the highway like they were listening. Then, the hunger started. I'd eaten. I swear to God I'd eaten. But suddenly my stomach was howling like I'd skipped a week. And not just hunger. Something deeper. Like the hunger wasn't in my gut. It was in my bones. I cracked the window, lit a cigarette. Didn't help. Then the whisper. Not from the radio, not outside. It came from inside my head. Like someone was crouched behind my eyes and breathing through my skull.
You feel it too, don't you? You're not just hauling it, you're carrying it.
I slammed the brakes, pulled over on the shoulder. The whole trailer creaked, metal groaning like it was flexing, like something shifted inside. I didn't check. Not yet. I just told myself I was tired. Hearing things, turned the heat up, turned the radio off, and then drove. Somewhere past 3 a.m., I saw movement in the mirror. Not behind me, inside the trailer. Just a flicker, like a shadow curling past the frost-covered slit between the doors. I leaned closer to the mirror, and then I saw it, a handprint, pressed from the inside, small, human, frozen. That's when I started to panic. The whisper came back, closer this time, clearer.
He's still alive in there. Help him. Open it.
I told myself it was the wind, but deep down, something in me cracked open. Same way you pop a joint too far, and it never feels right again. I pulled into a wide patch off the road, surrounded by forest, no lights, no traffic. Left the engine running, stepped out, breath fogging the air. The trailer hummed like a dying animal. I walked around to the back. The lock looked smaller somehow, like it wanted me to break it, and I did. Bolt cutters from the side compartment. Snap. One move. The doors creaked. Frost cracked. I opened it. It was empty. Nothing but metal walls layered with scratches. Deep, ragged, desperate. Like someone, many someones, had clawed to get out. Then I saw it, on the floor, center, like a forgotten offering. A finger, human, blue, frozen stiff, still wearing a wedding ring. On the wall, scratched just above eye level, words. Driver 12, hunger took him. I backed away, slammed the doors shut, couldn't breathe. And in my head, one last whisper.
Now it's yours.
I didn't finish the route, didn't call dispatch, didn't call anyone. I left the truck right there on the side of the road. Keys in the seat, doors unlocked, and I walked into the woods barefoot. I don't remember taking off my boots. I don't remember anything after that, but I remember the voice, not in my head this time, on the radio as I was walking. Unit 45, do you copy? Evan? You're off route. Respond. Then static. Then another voice, calm, tired, older.
Another one gone.
I don't know if I was the driver or the cargo. Maybe I was always just the packaging. I only know one thing now. You never really drive alone. Not on these roads, not at night, not with a trailer that breathes, not when something out there, or maybe in you, is hungry, and the hunger never, ever stops. You ever seen something that shouldn't be able to move that fast? I don't mean fast like a deer darting across the road. I mean 60 miles an hour, running right next to a fully loaded rig. It happened to me last winter. Route 93, northbound, just past midnight. And if you've ever driven that stretch near the Canadian line, you know, there ain't much out there. Just frost, pines, and a silence so thick you start hearing things you shouldn't. I was late. Dispatch screwed up again, and I left Missoula near 10 p.m. Too late, too cold, too tired. Had 40,000 pounds of lumber, headed up past Eureka. Knew I wouldn't make it in one go, but I thought I'd push just a little farther, beat the snow. My boy turned 8 that night. I missed it, again. Promised I'd be back Saturday. Promised we'd go to the arcade like last year. Didn't even call. No signal where I was going anyway. The cab was warm, engine humming low, and outside, just black trees, empty road, no taillights, no headlights, no moon. But the cold, it started creeping in. Even with the heater blasting, I felt it, like the windows were bleeding chill. And then I saw it. At first, I thought it was a reflection, just a flicker, off the mirror, maybe ice on the glass. But then it moved again, in rhythm, right outside my driver's side window. I looked, and I swear, something was running next to me, not behind, not on the shoulder, right, beside me. Its body was long, too long, pale gray skin, stretched tight like wet paper over bones, arms swinging low, fingertips almost brushing the ground. But the legs, God, the legs bent the wrong way, backward at the knees like a deer, only it was over 7 feet tall. I blinked. It was still there, just running, effortless, smooth, looking up at me. And the worst part, its mouth wasn't moving, but I heard it, not with my ears, not through the glass, inside my head, like someone whispering just behind my eyes. I floored it, 60, 65, 70. My whole rig started shaking, tires humming hard, trailer swaying just enough to make my knuckles go white. Still there, no breathing, no footsteps, just the sound of my engine screaming and that thing keeping pace. And then it smiled. Not with lips, just the corners of its face pulled back, too far. like it had forgotten how human expressions work. I hit the brakes, hard, screeched onto the shoulder, tires spitting gravel and snow. The whole cab lurched. For a second, I sat there, hands trembling, heart hammering through my ribs. Told myself I imagined it, sleep-deprived, overworked, losing it. Then I looked in the mirror. It was standing behind the trailer, still, silent, bent forward like a predator about to leap. I didn't move. I didn't blink. I don't even think I breathed. The mirrors began to fog on the outside. That's when I heard my son's voice. Not real. I know it wasn't real, but it came anyway, like a memory sliding in sideways. Don't miss it this time, Dad. And I realized I wasn't getting out of this by waiting. I had two options: sit and pray or run and gamble. I reached under the seat and yanked the release pin on the trailer lock. It was frozen stiff, hadn't been checked since Missoula. I hit it with the butt of my flashlight. Once, twice, 3 times. It gave. I dropped the clutch. Engine screamed. I pulled forward, fast. The trailer started to follow, and then, snap. It broke loose. The last thing I saw in the mirror was that thing jumping, arms out, claws digging into the wood as the trailer flipped sideways off the shoulder. And then it vanished, just gone. I drove, didn't look back, didn't slow down till I saw lights, some 24-hour gas station near the border. I must have looked half dead pulling in. The guy behind the counter just stared. "You okay, buddy?" he asked. "You look like you saw a ghost." I didn't answer, just asked for coffee. My hands were still shaking. My breath came in short, tight bursts. I checked the mirrors once. Nothing. Next day, they found the trailer. It was 10 miles back, torn open like a soda can. The load scattered across the snow. Sheriff said maybe a bear or moose, but there were no tracks, no blood, no damage to the frame, just deep gashes in the lumber, and a strange smell no one could place. I made it home that weekend, hugged my kid like I just crawled out of hell. Didn't tell him why, didn't tell anyone, but I stopped taking Route 93. I don't care if it adds 2 hours. I don't care if dispatch complains. And my mirrors? I keep them tilted down now. Don't want to see anything running beside me. Because whatever that thing was, it didn't want to ride. It wanted the chase, and it almost got one. I was driving my pickup through northern Montana. Old blue Ford, rust on the doors, heater barely holding up. One of those old forest roads where the snow hits different. Wind was howling. Visibility? Practically zero. Whiteout conditions. No cars for the last hour. Just me and that endless wall of white. I was already gripping the wheel tighter than usual. Heater blasting, but my fingers still cold. And then I saw it. A semi-truck, parked at an angle on the shoulder. Hazards blinking. Tick, tick, tick. Cutting through the snow like a heartbeat. But no signs of a crash. No damage. Just sitting there. "No," I muttered. "That's not right." I slowed down, pulled off behind it. I stepped out and immediately cursed. Shit, I should have worn a warmer jacket. The wind bit through me. Snow was blowing sideways, but strangely, it only came up to my ankles. Should have been deeper. The cab door was cracked open, just enough to make your skin crawl. "Hello?" I called out, raising my voice over the wind. "You okay in there?" No answer. I climbed up, looked inside. Cab was clean, organized. Coffee in the cup holder, steam still rising, ignition still warm. Whoever was here had left minutes ago, maybe seconds. My gut twisted. I don't even know why. Something about the way the engine purred in the storm, like it was waiting. "Hey!" I yelled again, louder this time. "Anyone here? You hurt?" Still nothing. I stepped back down, walked around to the back. Trailer doors were unlocked. Inside, empty. Except patches of matted gray fur, clumps of it stuck to the floor, and a smell. Heavy, wet, like rotting meat and dirt that's been buried too long. I gagged. God, what the hell? Then I saw the tracks. One set of footprints, deep, bare feet. The snow was too cold for that, way too cold. They weaved side to side, not straight, like drunk or confused. "Hey!" I shouted again. "Are you out there? Talk to me." Nothing. Wind, trees, silence. I squinted into the white. The tracks led toward the tree line. And hell, I couldn't just leave someone out there. "Maybe he's injured," I said aloud. "What if he's lost?" I started walking. Slow, careful, snow crunching under my boots. "Hello?" Every few steps I'd yell. No response. The forest ahead was black against the white snow, like teeth in a mouth. And then the footprints stopped, just like that. They didn't fade, didn't turn around. They just ended. I stood there, staring at the last footprint in the snow. The track just ended. No turn, no sign of struggle, just one final barefoot step, and nothing. I looked up, into the tree line. Something about the silence felt wrong. The air was heavy, no wind, no birds. I squinted deeper, and that's when I saw them. Eyes, 2 yellow dots, far back between the trees, too high, too wide. They didn't blink, didn't move, just stared. I froze. My breath caught. Then I turned to run and stopped. The snow behind me was clean, flat, my footprints gone, and his too, all of them, like neither of us had ever been there. What the hell? I whispered. I spun slowly, trying to remember which way I'd come. Everything looked the same, snow up to my knees, white in every direction. 10 seconds. I stood there 10 whole seconds, trying to decide. Left, right, back. The eyes were still watching. I picked a direction, any direction, and ran. Branches scraped my arms, snow blinding me. I was choking on air. And then I saw it. The road, my pickup. I stumbled to the driver door, stopped. A gash. Long, deep, fresh, like something clawed at it. I jumped in, slammed the door, locked it, started the engine, drove, didn't stop, didn't look back. Right there, driving through the whiteout, I called 911, told them everything. They said they'd send a unit. I said they better bring more than one. A few hours later, another driver came through. He saw the same truck, same hazards. Didn't stop. Thought it looked fine. Then a few miles later, he saw something else. A pickup truck, an old blue Ford with rust along the doors, parked on the shoulder, door hanging open, engine running, no one inside. And in the snow beside it, a new set of barefoot tracks, winding, weaving, leading into the woods. The road forgets you fast out here. But something in those woods, it remembers. They say Route 219 cuts through the bones of the Appalachian Mountains. And in the dead of winter, those bones bite back. That night, I was hauling freight out of West Virginia, heading north, wheels hissing over black ice and road salt. It was one of those nights when the world feels like it's holding its breath. No music, no chatter on the radio, just the hum of the engine and the occasional gust of wind slapping against the side of the cab. My name's Carl, 48. I've been driving rigs since I was 22, long enough to know that there's something about the road in winter that brings out the weird in people. Or maybe in places, maybe both. It was just past midnight. I'd been running low on food since that morning. Last thing I had was a cheap gas station waffle wrapped in plastic, the kind that tastes like regret and cardboard. I remember holding it up to the windshield, watching the frost gather around the edges and muttering, "Breakfast, just hold out till breakfast." I didn't know then that I'd never make it to breakfast. About an hour later, my stomach started making noises I didn't know were possible. It wasn't just hunger, it was something deeper, colder, something feral. I flicked on the CB to keep my mind off it. Static hissed, then a voice I recognized. "That's you, Carl?" It was Ray. I hadn't seen him in months. Older guy, soft drawl, the kind of man who carries stories in his laugh lines. "Hey Ray, where you at?" "Couple miles ahead. Old truck stop near mile marker 63. Me and another driver pulled in to crash for the night. Room for one more if you're looking to park it." "Another driver?" "Frank. Good guy. Eats like he's got two stomachs." I laughed. "Hell, I could eat a whole cow right now." Ray chuckled, but there was a pause, just a flicker too long. "You all right, Carl?" "Just tired and hungry." "Don't sleep hungry, man. Not out here." I thought he was joking. The truck stop was barely lit, one flickering overhead lamp throwing long shadows over 3 parked rigs. Snow was falling thick now, muting every sound. Ray was leaning against his cab, hands buried in his coat pockets. Frank was sitting on his steps, unwrapping something that smelled incredible. Spicy, greasy, warm. A burrito, the size of a brick. "Jesus," I said. "What is that?" "Texas burrito," Frank grinned, holding it up like a trophy. "Wife won't let me come home without bringing one back. Says if I don't, I'm not me." He laughed, loud, easy. Ray just smiled in that tired way truckers do after 600 miles. "You want a bite?" Frank asked. God, I wanted to say yes. My stomach twisted, begging me, but I shook my head. "I'll grab something in the morning. Just need to close my eyes." "Suit yourself. More for me," he said, tearing into it with a hunger I felt in my bones. Ray clapped my shoulder. "Get some rest, Carl. Long way to go." And that was it. We said goodnight, and I climbed back into my cab and into the dark. Sleep took me like a drug. Fast, heavy, full of static and shadow. I was in the woods, barefoot, no truck, no road, just white, endless snow under a black sky. Each breath puffed like smoke, and the trees leaned in like they were listening. Under my feet, not leaves, not dirt, bones. They cracked with every step. I felt it before I saw it. The weight, the presence, the cold that crept into my chest like a second heartbeat. Something moved between the trees, tall, thin, with antlers that scraped the branches. Its eyes were nothing, holes, and when it opened its mouth, I didn't hear words. I felt them, inside my skull.
Not hunger. Memory. You're just remembering what you are.
Then it reached out, hand like twisted wood, and I opened my mouth. I woke up to a knock on the window. My heart was pounding, breath short, still dark outside. Then the voice, Ray's, urgent and muffled through the glass. "Carl, wake up! Something's wrong! Frank's gone!" I blinked, wiped my eyes. Everything felt off, my limbs heavy, my mouth dry. I reached for the handle and cracked the door open. Ray's face twisted in shock. "What the... Carl, Jesus, you're covered in blood." I looked down, hands red, jacket soaked. I reached up, touched my face, sticky, cold. What the hell?" Ray backed up. He looked like he wanted to run. I could see it in his eyes. I don't know," I stammered. "I was sleeping. I swear." But the strangest thing, the worst part, was what I didn't feel. Hunger. I wasn't hungry anymore. Not even a little. They cuffed me and drove me to the sheriff's office in the next town over. Nobody said much, just side glances, whispers. Paperwork shuffled like a funeral home. I sat in the holding cell with the fluorescent light buzzing like a wasp in my skull. Outside, I heard two deputies talking.
"Blood on him matched Frank's. No body yet. But that cab looked like a slaughterhouse. The prints?"
Some were Carl's. Some weren't human. Claw marks, bare footprints, leading into the woods. You believe it? You remember what the tribal elders used to say about the Wendigo?
"Oh, come on."
I'm serious. The hunger spirit. It finds you when you're cold, starved, alone. It takes what's left.
I stood and leaned my head against the cold bars. "I saw it," I whispered, "in my sleep. Or maybe not sleep. He had antlers, eyes like pits. He said, I was just remembering." They didn't respond. They didn't need to. I've been sitting here for hours, days maybe. They bring me food, I don't touch it. I'm not hungry. I think about Frank, his burrito, that stupid grin, Ray's face when he saw me, and the woods, the bones under the snow. Maybe I did it. Maybe I'm sick, or evil, or broken, or maybe he really was there, the Wendigo, and maybe I let him in, and now he's just waiting. The scariest part isn't what I did, it's that I feel fine, calm, full. So if you ever drive up Route 219, if it's late and cold and your stomach's growling like a dog left in a cage, don't sleep hungry, because if you wake up full, it might already be too late.